Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I want to share some more thoughts and theories I have about Legion going into its third and final season. There's actually a trailer dropped for season 3. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. Now, what's really interesting is obviously, there's that lady that's there that, David kind of recruits, and she's like, is this kind of like a cult? Which is kind of interesting, like the whole aspect of like he's surrounding himself with all these people. Because like a lot of people, it's like, oh, he's like, I'm the magic man. It's him trying to be like, no, here's all these people, I'm helping free them, I'm helping free their minds. Like what that necessarily entails, maybe he is helping people, maybe some of these people have like some trauma or something that he's actually trying to help them deal with, which is kind of interesting considering the grand scheme of things of him being locked up in clockwork. It's just, I think that's almost ironic in a sense, but you can also make the argument because of all that, he wants to go like, no, that wasn't really helping me because I didn't know the truth, and but now that I do know the truth, I can use my powers to really help unlock the true potential and who people really are and kind of get past a lot of the stuff they're dealing with, potentially. But the cool thing I like about it is that whole thing, or the whole conversation of obviously, is David the villain, is he the good guy? Obviously, everything's pointing to him being the villain, so I think this whole thing is interesting because it's him latching on to like, no, I'm the good guy. He's trying to help other people to prove it. But to be fair, in the end, he's trying, like the girl that the trailer mainly focuses around, she has the power to time travel in some shape or form, so it seems like it's almost like a means to an end for him. It's like, oh, helping out all these other people while also helping out myself. I think he's thinking like, as long as I'm still alive, I can help more people, but it's also about saving himself. It makes you wonder, is it coming from a selfless place or a selfish place? I mean, maybe the argument it's coming from both, I mean, that's the thing, like David's kind of lost and he's kind of thinking he's one thing when in actuality everything, literally time and the world, is screaming that he's another, and I think that's the fascinating aspect to it, especially when you consider like where we are in the series. It's like, oh, Farouk is technically the good guy and David's the bad guy. I just think that's so fascinating. Like obviously because it's all about him like turning back time, because even Farouk's like, how do you surprise a guy who can keep turning back time to warn himself? It does beg the question, and like, I mean, it depends on how far she can time travel back. Is it like a limited amount of time? Is there more she could do with it? Do you think he's going to try and go further back? Is he going to try and kill Farouk before Farouk gets inside of his head and kind of changing time? Will that be something we see where maybe like time gets changed, but maybe certain people kind of still remember it a certain way? I don't know. It also depends on, like I said, the whole conversation of how they handle time travel, because maybe they'll handle it, it's kind of spoilers, but maybe they handle it in kind of an in-game fashion of like the rules of time travel are different from what your typically know them to be, or maybe it's something else, because it might not even be like a full like time travel thing. It might be like, I mean, the fact that you can come back and warn yourself makes it seem like it's not like a consciousness time travel, like something like the TV show Travelers. It might be more traditional time travel. Like I said, you have to wait and see like what the limits and just how far back you can go and stuff like that is, Once again, it's still that hard situation of Sid obviously, being like, no, you destroy the world, but he's like, I'm a good guy. So it's that whole complicated thing of like, yeah, the woman that you love is trying to kill you, because in her mind too, it's like, you probably don't even actually know what it is to actually love, which then there's a whole complicated situation with him and Lenny, because let's not forget, Lenny is still kind of partly his sister, but like it also seems like there's a part of Lenny that cares about him, so I'm curious to see where that goes. I also really like the kind of like Alice in Wonderland aesthetic that they've got, like her kind of drinking tea and looking like the Bad Hat. I was like, oh, I like that aspect, and I mean obviously it fits very nicely with the aesthetic, the kind of like psychological aspect of Legion, so I'm sure that's going to be like a big parallel that they kind of make the whole like Alice in Wonderland following the White Rabbit down this hole to unseen wonders or something like that. I think that'd be kind of interesting, because a lot of last season was dealing with delusions. I'm curious like what the main overarching theme of this season is going to be. Another big conversation that I've kind of had before too is that whole conversation of like, okay, when it's at the end of a series, like who's gonna die? I mean, there's potential for a lot of the other characters to end up dying, but what about David himself? Will it be a situation of someone actually putting him down? Will he ultimately be like, I am the monster, I need to remove myself from this situation, end up destroying himself? What about his dad? Like his dad's obviously somewhere existing in this continuity, and it's kind of a spoiler, but I think I saw somewhere that someone was cast as Professor X. It was something I was trying to stay away from, but I just happened to stumble across it. That's what I think. I mean, we do see like the Cerebro helmet at one point in the trailer someone wearing. I don't think that was David. I didn't go back to like check it out, but there was definitely someone wearing it, so that could be like a Professor X situation. Will he be able to save his son? Will it be too late? Will he have to be the one that ultimately put his son down? Will we see this crazy situation where he actually kills Professor X or something. I don't know. And since I was bringing it up earlier too, like how much of a role will time travel play in this? Will it be little bits here and there? Will it be a big plot point? I have no idea. I'm very interested to find out. I'm so curious to see how they end up wrapping up the entire series. Will David prove himself to be the ultimate villain that everyone claims that he is? Is that thing I've brought up multiple times before? Is it like a self-fulfilling prophecy? And the fact is that David isn't the monster people think he is, but because they think he is and this and that, because of everything that they've seen from the future, they probably don't believe that he can change, that things will change. I mean, to be fair, things stayed on a certain path and the world ended. So the question then becomes like, is there no like changing things? Is Sid even going to bother try changing him? Does she think he's too far gone from changing? The fact is she's even taken time to even talk to him. Maybe he actually went to her, maybe he astral projected to talk to her, went in her mind, whatever the case may be. But does she think it's too late, or is she willing to give it a chance to try? Or, you know, I'm curious to see where that whole aspect to it goes. And will he, like I said, will he go full villain? Will he go like, oh, I accept it, this is who I am, everyone thinks I'm this monster, then no more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. playing I'm the hero or the good guy, I'm the monster, I will play the bad guy role. If you want to be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy, you know? So, I'm curious. But like I said, these are just some of my thoughts and theories. In the comments down below, let me know some of yours. What do you want to see from this final season? What you think we'll see? Let me know your thoughts. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day, and goodbye.